you know, rather they have that degree or not, rather they have that education or not, treat everybody with respect. Because you never know when you're going to see that person again, and that one person could be the person that saves your life.
Mm-hmm. You right about that.
But, so let me ask you, let's get into some relationship topics.
Okay.
Let me ask you first. Are you married, Chris?
Nah, I'm divorced.
Okay. Any children?
No children.
No? Do you want a family someday?
When I was younger, I did. As I've gotten older, I was like, oh, no way. This society is like, everything is costing so much money.
You're right.
Like,
Cost of inflation. I know. I have children. And, yeah, they're expensive.
You're right.
They are. So, what is the number one reason why men? I'm just gonna get right into it.
Go ahead, dive right in.
Because you were raised around women. You grew up with what you have. How many sisters?
I have 5 sisters.
You have 5 sisters, and then mom, grandma.
I have mom. I have grandma no longer living. Grandpa, love him to death. Uncles, aunties, that
so
deal.
So you got a lot of experience because you were around women most of your life.
I didn't learn the game around my sisters.
Now, tell me, where did you learn the game?
I learned my game when I went to San Diego when I was stationed in the military.
Oh, shout out.
Where
San
you
Diego.
from?
I am from San Diego, yeah.
San Diego taught me the game. My best friend, Brian Smith. Mm-hmm. Man, I used to see him when I was, out there. He didn't have no trouble getting ladies. I called it the golden tongue. I used to be like, damn, he went about it. He ain't all in the face, acting like a little scavenger about it. Can I get your number? None of that bull. He was just, in his own little element, doing his own thing, standing out from the pack. I was like,
okay.
I hadn't seen the girls do some strange stuff around. I'm like, damn, you couldn't be more obvious. And I was like, man, how you get like that? But...
Are you saying, like, what when you say he had a golden tongue, like, was he respectful towards women?
He didn't do anything out of character. Nothing out of character. Just a relaxed demeanor. Because he's from Chicago. Okay. But he lived out there in the military. Mm-hmm. Just a relaxed demeanor. Nothing over the top. Very calm. You see, I'm talking at this level now. He was calm. He didn't have, like, no arrogant, nothing. He just did his own thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I saw it. And me from New Orleans, I'm used to people being all freaking thirsty. I'm like, charge at a chick, you know what I'm saying? Like a caveman with his little back.
But he was nice and calm. And
calm, collective.
And women like that.
And he had his pick, you know what I'm saying? He could have went after what he wanted. What he didn't want, he paid no attention to it.
This is someone you met in the military?
Yeah, we met in the military. Cool dude, you know what I'm saying? To this day.
So you learned a lot of the game from him?
Just sat back and watched, you know what I'm saying? Probably never even known until this interview that's how that went down. I was like, damn, I'm not used to seeing this. Everybody I'm around is thirsty. So, you know what I'm saying? It changed my freaking life on how I look at how things go down. I was like, yo, you ain't got to roll up on a person. You ain't got to compromise your dang on, standards or your self-esteem for no lady. You can actually stand for what you're going to stand for. And if it's good, it's good. It's not, it's not. And keep it pushing, you know? So, I mean, that's how that rolls.
Okay. So in your opinion, Chris, what is the number one reason why men pull away?
That is so funny.
Why men lose their attraction towards a woman.
It all depends on where you're talking about. Like, if you just slept with him, that's his own entity. If you haven't slept with him and you made him wait a long time, that's his own entity. Mm-hmm. But basically, when you're in a relationship with somebody, you just meet him.
No, this is when... Let's go with both. Yeah. First, let's go with when you're dating, and then we'll move on to when you're in a relationship. So let's go with when you're dating. When you are dating.
When you're dating, the game is it's all a tug of war, and a lot of times inside of a tug of that comes up to one of my quotes. I was watching The Matrix this weekend, and it shot a quote. Number 2, Reloaded. And it shot a quote that made so much perfect sense to the question you asked. I had to write it.
Okay.
It said, we can't see past the choices we don't understand. And the Oracle said that. I was like, boom, that is so perfect. We can't see past stuff we don't understand. We're not meant to understand someone else's desire. The reason why they're with you. they have to show it, but you have to catch it, and they gotta want to show it to you. What if they don't ever show it to you? How you gonna know? Just gonna have to play it out. So
So why do you? Okay, well, let's say why would you lose attraction towards a woman? What is it that a woman would do that you would just lose that attraction for them?
Let's say I take her out on a date. Okay. And I pay for the whole evening. She didn't have to come out of her pocket with nothing. I can't pick her up. Date? Let's say it's first, second, third.
Let's go
only
with the first
3. Got rules.
Okay.
Only 3. First, let's say it's that first date. I take her out on a date. I took my time off. She took her time off. I pay for everything. She have to worry about nothing. If she's on her phone Facebooking while I'm trying to get to know this person, and that's one thing that's going to kind of like sit in the back of my mind. And through conversation, if I'm trying to get to know her and all she keeps talking about is her ex, and that's another thing that's going to like make me kind of be a little standoffish. I may not leave, but I'm going to be a little, keep my distance.
Okay.
And the last one is, this might make me not want to set a second date.
Okay.
If every time I ask her something and she only have one-word responses. One-word responses. Be like, so how's the weather in San Diego?
It's
okay. Great. So you know what I'm saying? How was the movie? Good. Be like, how was college last year when you was there?
Great.
Couldn't wait to leave. Good. That type of deal. Like,
so it needs to be more. What about 3 words?
I mean, it's the way it's put out. Even if you put 3 words, if you rush them, be like, I'm ready to leave. I'm like, okay, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
So it should be more than...
Like more attentive. Like when guys talk with women, we're not trying to...
You want kind of a give and take conversation.
Hey, anyway. you wanna have something else to say,
right?
And show your interest by giving little. That to mean to a guy that, hey, this person might not be interested. So what's the purpose of keep doing this if I already feel like it's an awkwardness? Everything's supposed to flow. It's supposed to be cool. That's the purpose of going on a date, to see if you match with a person. You don't force a match. That's the key. You don't force no match.
Dang. So what would be the biggest mistake that women make that kills men's attraction?
This one, a lot of guys will agree with me on this.
Okay. What would be the biggest mistake on that one?
Not knowing what they have in front of them until it's too late. A lot of women, man, they want something, but the way they go about wanting it only turns a man off. Like, a woman will say, I want to be married by 34, or a man must buy me this, or a man must buy me that. Did you not just get what I said? A man. So it didn't mean Cedric. It didn't mean Sean. It didn't mean Joe. That's the name of the guy that's probably in front of her. So she's just saying, a man, a man, a man. You're taking the value of somebody who's giving your attention to you right now based off of this a man crap. I mean, so why is this man sitting in front of you if he can't be even acknowledged by his own name? Why should he waste his time, which is valuable, by the way, with somebody who don't even value his? Somebody who didn't say, I appreciate you for even wanting to try to get to know me. But when you want to leave, it's like, hey, I'll go on a date with you, and it's too late. A person that already played their card. Once a person played their card, they can't go back most of the time. Because that'll show weakness. But that's the biggest thing. A woman don't know what they have in front of them until it's too late. And don't always mean in a relationship. Could mean she probably didn't pursue it with him and got with somebody else thinking the grass was greener with another guy. And you see this all the time. And let the good guy slide out. And then when that goes haywire, she be wanting to try to come back to this guy, but he already probably be in something. And then be mad with this guy. Why you're not available? Why you're not waiting while I did this? And no matter how long. Because I read a document where a female broke up with her husband of like 12 years so she can go out and, quote unquote, slut it out. So she did that for like 8 years. And he said he begged her in the article not to leave. Her father said this was going to be the dumbest mistake you make. And she knew her father might be right.
But the temptation of other options.
And do what she want to do. She did it.
Too great.
But guess what?
Which is, I think, a mistake that a lot of men and women make because the temptation of options are so great.
And check this out.
They can't resist that.
You know, he left, and at first he was crushed. So that means he went through a period. He had to build himself back up. That's why I'm doing the little motion. He had to build himself back up because he loved her. And her father knew he loved her. But by him being kicked to the curb in that manner, because that's a scavenger move. That's a ruthless move. I only read about some crap like that in the movie Pimp. You know, so to see that in an article, you're like, dang. But after 8 years, he had already met somebody and married. But her stuff fell all through. She couldn't get with no guy. Guy was beating her butt and everything. So now...
And he met
another woman that treated him better than what he had. So now he's with this woman. They got married. Now she's calling him, trying to infiltrate her way in, and he tells her...
When he's already married to another woman.
It was nice that he could answer the call and talk to her, but it got to a point she was trying to force her way in. He told her, he said, hey, I can't accept any more of your calls because you're making my woman mad. So now she's like, you know, all of a sudden you got this person that's messing what we had. She's still stuck on. She was like, you should have waited for me. You see what I'm saying? It's that type of logic. Why do people do that? Why you think this man should wait on you when you had nothing to offer for him for 8 years? Every day. That's over freaking almost 2,000 days. And you talking about
Chris, you have broke this down into days.
Damn near 2,000 days. You know how hard it is to wake up, go to sleep, and still live. And you expected 2,000 days to pass, and he was just supposed to jerk out all these days.
Oh, God. Right.
Still want you with that same intensity from back then. I mean, people move on.
That's selfish, though. Yeah. You know, I think that's a selfish thing that, you know, to expect him to wait.
Yeah.
For that long, you know?
Let's kill one myth, because this is the truth. For the most part, when a man deals with a woman, she gonna be selfish.
Why do you say that?
Oh, because a woman lives in her bubble. He has to come into her bubble and be perfect. You know what I'm saying? She gonna want always what she wants. And sometimes it's everything. If he can't provide everything, then she may not want him. So she gonna want it all. Which is nothing wrong with that. See how there's nothing wrong with wanting everything, because you don't want no person to give you half. So she's gonna be selfish, and there's nothing wrong with being selfish.
So when you say all, you're not just talking about monetary.
Everything you have to offer.
You know, talking about emotional, physical, financially. I mean, everything. The
Hell yeah! Put my name in the wheel type stuff
of what a relationship should be. But it shouldn't just be her wanting it all. Should be him wanting it all as well.
But
because
you know what?
Just as much as the man is giving to the woman should give to him in return. It should be a give and take kind of thing, don't you think?
You know what?
It shouldn't be one-sided.
I agree,
and
but
a woman giving, you know, expecting everything to be given to her. It should kind of be, I think it should be go on both sides. It shouldn't be just one-sided, because nothing works if it's just a 90-10 kind of relationship. Because I know for a fact, you know, I was in one, my ex-wife, and, you know, to where I was giving 90% and she was only giving 10%. I never want to be in a relationship where I'm giving, and I'm only receiving that 10% back. You feel me? Mm-hmm. I don't want to just receive that. Yeah. I think every relationship, if I'm giving you, you know, this amount of not only, you know, financial stability, you know, love, you know, emotional, physical, everything, then I want that back, because after all, you know, it's a partnership. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be one person, because that's just so draining. It's so draining. And then I think that, you know, what happens, like, you know, divorce, and then you know, move on and you go into another relationship. Are you giving your all to that next relationship?
Probably not.
You know, because you're thinking about all these things that you you know, you pushed on, you know, this last previous relationship, is this next one going to be that way? You know, are they going to give?
Yeah, I tell you this. I'm glad